Stop what you're doing for a second, because this isn't just a creepy story. This is one of those situations where the details don't add up, and the more you look at it, the worse it gets. A missed call from a number that shouldn't exist, and when it finally gets answered, it's already too late. It started with something small, a missed call at 3:04 a.m. Nothing unusual, except for one detail. The number wasn't unknown. It wasn't blocked. It wasn't international. It was his number. Same area code, same digits, no difference. At first he assumed it was a glitch, maybe a weird carrier error, maybe some kind of spoofing. But when he opened the call log, it showed clearly, incoming call, his own contact name, no voicemail, no follow-up, just that single entry sitting there. And the timestamp wasn't random either, 3:04 a.m., which mattered because he was awake at 3:04, and his phone never rang. He checked everything. Call settings, do not disturb, silent mode. Nothing was turned on, no app interference, no scheduled silence. There was no reason that calls shouldn't have come through. So he did the obvious thing. He called the number back. It rang once, then immediately connected. No delay, no dialing tone after that. Just silence, not static, not interference, just nothing. And then, very faintly, something shifted, like movement, not on the line, but in the background. At first, he thought it was just audio distortion, until he realized something was off. The sound matched his room. Same faint hum from the ceiling fan, same distant car passing outside, same subtle creak in the walls. It wasn't random noise, it was his environment. Exactly. He pulled the phone away slowly, looked around the room. Everything was still. Then he brought it back to his ear, and that's when he heard it. A breath, not loud, not aggressive, just a slow, steady inhale, followed by a quiet exhale. Close, too close. Like whoever, or whatever, was on the other end, was standing right next to the phone. He hung up immediately, sat there in silence, then checked the call log again. Still there. Same timestamp, same entry, no change. But now, it showed something new. Call duration, 17 seconds. That's when things stopped being explainable. Because he knew he hadn't stayed on the call that long. Maybe 5 seconds, 6 at most, not 17. So he did something most people wouldn't. He checked his security camera. Front door, nothing. Backyard, nothing. But inside, there was a camera in the hallway, pointed directly at his bedroom door, and at 3:04 a.m., it recorded something. At exactly 3:04, the door opened, slowly, not wide, just enough to create a gap. And then, nothing came out. No one stepped into the hallway. No shadow, no movement. Just the door, opening, and staying that way, for 17 seconds, then closing again, softly, almost carefully. He stared at the footage over and over, trying to find something he missed, a shadow, a reflection, anything. But there was nothing, which didn't make sense, because at 3:04 a.m., he was inside that room, asleep. At least, that's what he thought. He checked one last thing, the call log again, scrolled back, and that's when he noticed it. The contact name wasn't just his number, it was labeled me, not my phone, not the number itself, just me, which meant at some point he had saved it that way, but he didn't remember doing that. And there was only one time stamp tied to it, 3:04 a.m., the same time. The door opened. So here's the question. If the call came from inside the room and the door opened while he was asleep, then who was holding the phone?